What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Every account has a moment where it stops feeling small. Episode 7 isn't a flashy one, but it might be the most important one yet. This is Zero to ChatGPT Hero. Okay, so first thing I see right off the rip here is we've got a new standing rule. If we've got a clue, we do it if we've got the ability to complete it. So that's pretty sick. We've got a couple of those banked up right now. Then we move into, I was dreading this moment, Underground Passage. Arguably the most nostalgic quest in RuneScape history that nobody loves. Then we go to upgrade some armor. Honestly, thank God we were rolling around in wizard robes for way too long. And we're going to do some easy combat achievements, so that's pretty sick. We get to start chipping away at our grind towards Grandmastery, you know what I'm saying? And then train all skills to a base level of 10. So my concern with training all skills to a base level of 10, if I'm being completely honest here, is given sailing so new, I don't know how much is out there for AI to grab for sailing, so I might have to talk ChatGPT on a little bit here in order to meet the intent of having base level 10s, but we'll play around with it a little bit, we'll see what happens. So without further ado, let's get this thing going.
Collection log slot completed.
So we need 25 range for Underground Passage. So we're gonna go ahead and finish our Slayer task and then knock out these last 5 range levels prior to executing this task. Oh my god, I hate this quest so much. Oh my god, finally. That literally took me about 45 minutes to do. That was as painful as I remember it being. Alright, so our next task is to upgrade our magic armor here, and the route we're going to take is going the Xerxian Robes route. I am so dry on my main at Chaos Druids for a collection log, so I don't want to test my RNG here, so let's get some solid robes. Yeah, don't you bring him over here. You mother. That's effed, man. That's effed up. Alright, there's 12 pieces of fabric. Let's go get our upgrade. Alright, so this is obviously a pretty low level account, so I think getting easy combat achievements done is going to be a little bit more difficult than I originally thought when we first read the task. However, I think we've got a good plan in place here, so stick with me through this and let's see if we can get this done. What? Okay, so apparently you can only get the combat achievement done if you kill the black dragon outside of the wilderness, which makes no sense. That was literally a 12-minute KC there. On the positive, I guess we got some loot that's going to help pay for the runes that we just wasted. Alright, let's get 2 more here with a crazy archaeologist KC.
Combat task completed.
Well, I messed up the last KC because I'm just trash at this game, obviously. So we're back at Crazy Archaeologist for a perfect KC and 2 more points. Kill a Greater Demon for another point.
Combat task completed.
We'll grab another 3 here with Into the Den and a Walking Volcano done.
Combat task completed.
Alright, now we're going to get the bulk of our points here at Temporos. We're going to start with a solo KC, getting 10 permits, and then we're just going to grind it out towards 10 KC to green log Temporos entirely.
Combat task completed.
The task is honestly so free. There's a +5 right there, easy day. And we'll sacrifice ourselves here for another 4 points. And here's 10 KC and Temporos Combat Achievements green logged. Alright, so this is the part of the grind in which I'm dreading a little bit here. We're going to step out into the wilderness in order to increase our chances in obtaining a Mossy Key in order to allow us to complete the Bryophyte combat achievements, which are not going to be fun doing on this account right now.
Collection log slot completed.
Thank God.
Combat task completed.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Well, there goes one CA.
Combat task completed.
That's actually tragic. That had to be the worst RNG ever. That was
Combat task
so painfully
completed.
stupid. Alright, we're gonna get our free 2-play kill now. I'm gonna flick my prayer this time because that was so dumb last time.
Combat task completed.
Bro, oh my God, I'm so trash at this game. Of course I didn't have Magic Prayer activated, so we missed out on another CA. Alright, this little moss giant is really starting to piss me off, so we're going to do this in a high-risk PvP world so I can use some blighted foods and these blighted restores that I got a while back, and I'm done running back here because this is just annoying, and it's 1 a.m. and that's what we do when we're tired. So here we go. I hate these growthlings with a raging passion.
Combat task completed.
Oh my goodness, I don't ever want to come back here. Alright, I'm sure you can guess what the next task is going to be. But once again, we're going to do it in a PvP world. Because I don't trust that I'm going to be able to damage this before my prayer runs out. So, here we go.
Combat task
That was actually way
completed.
easier than I expected. All right, so now we're moving to the second most difficult part of this grind, and that is obtaining a giant key. Because as you can see here, we got more mobile content coming your way, and due to that, I'm staying out of the wilderness, which is going to decrease our chances of getting a giant key to 1 in 128. So once again, hoping to get spooned here, and then gonna go knock out those overachievements, and I pray that they are not as difficult as the Bryophyte achievements. And of course, I failed to record my drop, but as you can see here, I did get spooned a giant key, so let's go knock out those CAs. And there's plus 3 points. Now it's off to a free-to-play world to fight this guy as intended, as Jagex likes to say, and get another plus 3 points. And this is what I get for recording at almost 2 a.m. or not recording in this case. All right, so here's the reality. ChatGPT asked me to complete easy combat achievements without having access to Wintertot. And Wintertot has the most free 13 combat achievement points this game has to offer. So we had to expose a loophole, and that loophole is by leeching KC off Mass Worlds on Scurious. In case you didn't know this, all you need in order to get KC at Scurious is to be present in the room when Scurious is killed. So these gamers are getting some KC for me. I'm going to sit here and look pretty, and then we're going to go finish this off by doing a task that I'm probably not going to have fun doing.
Combat task completed.
Thank you to these gamers for their dedication. All right, and for the final task, because I like hazing myself, we're going to be attempting to kill the giant mole without the giant mole being able to touch me, which is not going to be fun, considering I'm going to have to use Earth Bolt, and giant mole has a massive amount of magic defense, which means I'm probably going to splash about 100 to 150 times here. So let's get after this. Let's knock these easy combat achievements out, and then figure out what ChatGPT is going to have us do for sailing.
Collection log slot completed.
Now, it wouldn't be a very good AI series if we didn't let ChatGPT decide what skills we were dropping these experience lamps on, would it? ChatGPT says agility. Probably the most efficient thing it's had me do yet. All right, so based off discussions with ChatGPT in previous episodes, it's been clear that there are implied tasks in order to make this series flow as smoothly as possible. So in this case, in order to get base 10s, we would have to do Druidic Ritual to unlock Herblore and Pandemonium to unlock Sailing. So we're going to go ahead and knock out a couple quests here. We'll get 10 Herblore, we'll get 10 Rune Crafting, we'll get 10 Hunter, and then we're going to dive into what AI as a whole has to offer for a new skill such as Sailing, and see how we're going to go about developing that in the future. Let me tell you, doing low-level Hunter without doing the natural quiz mini quest is painful. This took 37 minutes, look at the timestamp at the bottom, to go from 1 to 10 Hunter. And now finally, let's knock out Pandemonium and then see what ChatGPT is going to have us do to level up Sailing. All right, so at the very least, it looks like AI actually does have some stuff on Sailing, at least the very basics on Sailing. So interested to see how this looks moving forward, but right now we're just going to do some basic deliveries and some charting. And that's a wrap for episode 7. The account's getting stronger, momentum starting to build. If you're enjoying the series so far, hit that subscribe button, drop it a like, and I'll see you next time on Zero to ChatGPT Hero.